Hey guys, and welcome to another video on the P1 Dogs YouTube channel, in which we will today have a look and analyze different outlap strategies for your qualifying for the upcoming Daytona 24-hour race in the GT3 class. And as said, we will analyze all those different strategies and we will directly compare them on the track. And at the end of today's video, we will decide which one is the most efficient and fastest strategy. So make sure to watch the video till the end, and as always, before the video starts, if you want to use the setup I used in this video, make sure to visit p1dogs.com and check out all of our data packs we're offering. And without talking too much, let's get straight into it. So, starting with our first outlap strategy, we will do the basic no tire warming one, as we will have 2 laps on our qualifying. We will just full push the outlap and full push both of the first 2 laps without doing anything majorly different or without warming up the tires. Whoopsie. Well, hope that doesn't count as tire warming. But we will try to just full push the outlap and both hot laps and yeah, see for what's about to happen. It will be quite interesting to see, since the Porsche is also a very difficult car when it comes to driving it in cold conditions or with cold tires, let's say it like that. I'm pretty sure it will be yeah, quite hard now to get a proper lap done, but yeah, let's see. Alright, so starting with the first time lap, going over the start finish line, braking right after the lights on the right side. Whoopa! Yeah, it's exactly what I mentioned. Car already wants to step out with the rear. Quite difficult still. On cold tires, rear cars are just insanely difficult to handle nowadays compared to front engine cars. Whoopa! Again here, car wants to step out with the rear. We don't have the perfect temperatures on them yet. Probably will be a bit better on the second time lap though. Try to be as early on the throttle as possible without losing too much rear grip. Quite difficult right now on the first lap. Let's see how the car will behave in the bus stop now. It's not good. Got the the off jack at the beginning. Let's see how the second time lap will be. First lap was also 44.8. Not what we're aiming for sure. Well, a second up probably. Already feels way better than on the first lap. With way more rear grip. Early on the throttle here without losing traction. Quite close there. Aim for the inside curb early on the throttle. Now we have way more rear grip than on the first lap. Doesn't feel bad. Should definitely be a lot of improvement on this second lap. Let's see how the bus stop will be now. Still quite sketchy, and we are losing the rear. Yeah, that's not how you want it to be. Alright, second try on the second lap. Quite lucky that I put the active reset there. Still lacking a little bit of rear grip, but it's way better than on the first lap, not gonna lie. There we go. heavily on the throttle once again. Don't swing yourself too much to the outside. And try to stay in the middle there. And up next is our most beloved corner, the bus stop. Alright, second try into the bus stop. Let's see if it will be better now. Alright. Survived this time and didn't get an ink. Could be maybe a tad faster, but I was really not that confident with how the car will behave there. Kinda excited what the lap time will be now. And it's a 43.491 without any special outlap strategies. Was just yeah, 3 push-ups basically with the outlap. So we can definitely note that down, and I would say it's time to use our first outlap strategy. Alright, time for our second strategy. Or actually it's the first one, since the first one doesn't really count. But this time we are actually going to try to underdrive the car and to avoid any front tire scrubbing or losing the rear, because if you actually do it on your outlap, it will be pretty bad for your 2 quali laps, so we will try to avoid that as best as we can now. Very careful on the exit, trying that the rear is not going to step out. And we will actually not just underdrive the outlap, we will also underdrive the first lap. It's a bit more risky, but it's more rewarding at the end if you hit the second lap. Of course, if you want to go for safety, then then just full push the first lap as well, but we are esports setup shop, we are using the best strategies only. So yeah, very careful on the braking. We're not going to try to underpush too much. We still want to get the optimal pressures into the tire. The rear wanted to step out here once again. Careful on the throttle. Early upshift to avoid any loss of rear traction. And then we are going to prepare ourselves for the second lap. If that one doesn't work out well, then you might have a problem for the HQ. So we want to try to focus as best as possible for that lap. Going to the bus stop. Taking now a right entry for the start-finish line straight. So we try to be as close to the wall here on the right as possible. So, starting our second lap, we'll have a quick look down, and we can see that the left side is still under 170 of pressure, which is not optimal at all. But I will come back at that later in the video. Nice turn 1 entry. But I can feel that the car is lacking a little bit of grip now. To be as early on throttle as possible, but we just have no grip really, since the tires are not in the right working window. We're stepping out here a little bit, losing a bit of traction. Still not at 170 with the pressures on the left side, which is yeah, causing some time loss for sure. Let's see how the bus stop will be like now. Yeah, bit of a bad exit, but just not feeling the grip in the tires. This lap will be 1/10 slower than the last one. It's yeah, exactly 1/10 at 0.591. So yeah, you might actually not hurt the tire at all with doing this strategy, but you for sure are also not gaining any temperature in them or any pressures. So yeah, this strategy personally for me is not working at all. But I guess the third one will kind of change it a bit. But yeah, let's see how that one goes. Starting with our third outlap strategy, it will be a little bit similar to the second one, because we will also do 2 slow outlaps and only 1 push lap. But the main difference is this time we'll do aggressive tire scrubbing, just to try and get the tires into the correct window, so they work the best. So what we will do is, we will do this kind of tire scrubbing, turning the wheel 180 degrees in most straights for the 2 outlaps, and hopefully we will get some temperature in the tire by doing that, and also with that gain some pace. So let's see if it will work out. So also here on the banking we will try and do some tire scrubbing. I got to say though, if you really want to do that, I can just recommend you to turn the first feedback a little bit lower, because this one really is a whole arm workout. Especially if you have a strong direct drive wheel base. So also here on the second banking we will do the same. Try to scrub the tires as much as we can, both left and right side. And as we can see, the front tire is already on 167 for the first time lap. But we will continue to do the tire scrubbing everywhere we can, basically. Try to not go too slow into these corners to get the rear tire pressure up a bit as well at the same time. Right corner coming up, we're going to tire scrub all the way early on throttle to really scrub the tire on this little straight. Use all of it. Very excited to see if this really pays off at the end. We'll scrub here. Scrub here, we'll scrub there. This straight coming up, we'll try to maybe do 200 km/h as a maximum speed, just to have enough time to do the scrubbing carefully. My god, it really is getting exhausting right now. And I think we can stop right now. 172 on the front left, 174, and the rear tires also don't look too bad. So what we will just aim for now is get a nice exit out of the bus stop, immediately go to the right side onto the banking. Quick look at the tires again, 172, the rear is also getting up. Let's see if this one really is worth it. Let's start our lap. This time, quick look, seems good. Early on throttle again, nice. Don't get irritated by the delta, it's from the previous try of mine with scrubbing the tires. Early on the throttle here, gaining all the time on the exit back. Looks good. But currently I would really say it's not worth doing all of that stress. Early on throttle here, this was a good exit. At the end, we will still be on a low 0.4, maybe high 0.3 if we get the bus stop right. So it's like a tenth faster maybe. Let's see. All eyes on the bus stop. Nice bus stop this was. We'll have a good exit out onto here. So it will be a high 0.3 now. which is 1/10 faster than the double push lap strategy. If you can really call it a strategy, it's just a normal way of doing a qualifying, to be honest. But you do have a little bit more confidence with these tires, since they're a bit more up the temperature. Right now they are perfect. If we had a third push lap, it would have been amazing. But we did a 0.380 now, which is round about a tenth, I think, faster. Maybe exactly 1/10. So let's have a look at all the times we did now and come to a conclusion. Alright, I'm back in the pits. As you can see, the 5th lap here was my first try. The 0.491, which was just the double push lap without doing anything special, just a normal driving. The 0.591 was the 2 slow out laps without doing anything and just doing 1 push lap, as sometimes people do in other races. But it does get quite difficult around here, since like 60-70% of the track are just straights or ovals. So you really don't get the tires up to temperature and up to the pressures with doing that kind of strategy. So I can really not recommend that. And the 0.417 is my first try with scrubbing the tires. It was already an improvement compared to the first ever lap. And the 0.380 was my last try with the aggressive tire scrubbing. So we have found 1/10 with doing all of this. At the end of the day, what I can really say is it's not that worth it doing all of the work just for, yeah, maybe 1/10 of improvement. A normal out lap with 2 push laps already was quite fast with a high 0.4. Now with aggressive tire scrubbing, you do get a little bit more confidence with the car and a little bit more grip, since the temperatures and the pressures are a little bit more towards the working window. But at the end of the day, it's just 1/10, and 1/10 doesn't really define how your race, especially over this track, will result in. So at the end, it's your decision if you want to put everything onto one card. For people who are really aiming to win top splits and to be P1 everywhere and to get like the slightest advantage out of the quali there is, you can do it for sure. But yeah, the first strategy, if you can call it a strategy, was not that bad as well. So I will leave it up to you guys. What I will do for next week is personally try to get the tires a little bit into pressure with and into the perfect window with tire scrubbing a bit. And I hope to see many of you guys driving next week's IMSA, next week's GT Sprint, since everything's at Daytona in that week. And of course, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. I hope I could help you guys decide what is the most efficient and fastest way of getting the quali done over this track. As always, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Check out the P1Docs HOTLAP channel and p1docs.com for all data packs. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and bye bye.